The stadium crowd suddenly freezes. A player goes down in the box. One single whistle blows, and the referee points straight to the penalty spot. If you watch the Belgium versus Senegal World Cup match, you know exactly what moment we're talking about, right? The players react instantly, the fans go absolutely wild, and this intense global debate immediately blows up. I mean, at the World Cup level, the margin for error is literally zero. A single penalty call can define an entire nation's tournament. So today, in this explainer, we're going to deconstruct that highly contested penalty. We're stripping away the noise, the bias, and that stadium echo to see exactly how the rules dictate these massive, match-defining moments.
The immediate question on everyone's mind, the one dominating every single post-match discussion, was simply this: was it the right decision? Okay, let's dive into this. Freeze that moment right in your mind. The referee's arm is outstretched, pointing right at the spot. Now, as fans, football is super tribal, isn't it? It feels incredibly personal when a call goes against the team we're rooting for, and our first instinct is obviously to defend our side. But to figure out if it was actually the correct call, we've got to strip away that emotion. We have to step out of that fan mindset and actually adopt the mindset of an official. We need to look exactly at what the official laws of the game say, rather than just listening to our gut reactions.
So, according to the rulebook, a penalty is awarded when a defending player commits a direct free kick offense inside their own penalty area while the ball is in play. And actually, hold on, that very last phrase, that is the absolutely crucial detail to lock into your memory right now, while the ball is in play. You could theoretically have the most aggressive physical contact in the world happen right inside the 18-yard box, but if the ball isn't actively in play when it happens, say the whistle already blew for something else, or a corner kick hasn't actually been taken yet, it simply cannot be a penalty. It might be a red card for violent conduct for sure, but play would just restart based on the previous situation. It's essentially the subjective binary checklist that the referee has to process in mere milliseconds. They're asking themselves, is it a foul? Is it inside the box? Is the ball live?
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is when we look at what actually constitutes a direct free kick offense. We aren't just talking about malicious, aggressive tackles here. The rules actually cover tripping, kicking, pushing, holding, or even just charging carelessly. Notice that specific word, carelessly. Because according to the laws of the game, careless just means a player shows a lack of attention or consideration when making a challenge, or they act without precaution. So a player doesn't need to have any malicious intent at all. They definitely don't need to deliberately try to cheat or injure the opponent to give away a penalty. A simple, badly timed lunge by a defender who is genuinely just trying to win the ball can instantly cross that threshold. In the modern game, which is played at blistering speeds, a tiny fraction of a second is literally all it takes for a genuine attempt at the ball to become a careless foul that changes the whole match.
Bringing it back to the reality of the pinch during that Belgium versus Senegal incident, the referee saw exactly that, a careless challenge. They specifically judged that the defender's leg made illegal contact with the attacker, and that resulted in a stoppage. Think about it in real time, right? Functioning on just one viewing angle, running at a full sprint, the official made the split-second call that this specific action crossed the threshold into a penalty offense. And that right there is the human element of the sport. It's the subjective application of that objective rulebook we were just talking about. But, as we all know, in modern elite football, the on-field decision is only part one of the story.
Let's move to and see how this builds into the video assistant referee process, which operates as a highly structured logic gate. Honestly, this is probably the most misunderstood aspect of modern football arbitration. Step 1 of VAR isn't to just re-referee the tackle to find the perfect subjective call. Actually, scratch that. Step 1 is strictly checking for a clear and obvious error. The VAR reviews the available video evidence, zooming in on the contact point using virtual replays just to see if the referee was manifestly wrong. In this Belgium versus Senegal case, the video showed actual, tangible contact that totally aligned with the referee's initial judgment. Because two sensible people could look at that contact and agree a careless foul probably occurred, it just didn't meet that extraordinarily high threshold of being clear and obvious to overturn. Therefore, the strict protocol dictates that the original penalty decision must stand.
So it ultimately comes down to this: know the rules, understand the game. Look, not every single piece of contact is a penalty. Football is a contact sport after all, and players are fully expected to challenge for the ball. But really understanding the nuances of how careless fouls are defined, and knowing just how incredibly high the VR threshold actually is for an intervention, helps us see exactly why some decisions feel incredibly controversial to us, yet remain perfectly correct under the strict operational rules of the game. So ponder this for a second. Next time you violently disagree with a referee from your living room couch, will you trust your emotional eyes or the cold, hard rulebook